Whether you're a casual player, competitive player, or even content creator, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 websites that I use for all things Pokemon Pocket. Hey guys, Zen here, and we're going to jump right into it with the first website in today's video, and that is PTCG Pocket.gg. Again, that's PTCG Pocket.gg. All the website links are going to be in the description, and I will also try to put them in the pinned comment down below. Now, for this website, you can do so many cool things, but I'm going to share with you guys exactly what I use each website for. So you can do trading cards, all this stuff is great. But however, the Sabrina right over here is what I use it for, the schedule, mainly because this website syncs to your local time on whatever computer or device you're using, I'd imagine, and it actually shows what time, your local time, that event is set to happen. So if we look over here, for me, it's going to be at 2 a.m. God, that kind of stinks. For Celestial Gardens, set A3 is dropping at 2 a.m. Rayquaza, pretty much the whole update's going to drop at 2 a.m. for me. So if you're wondering, if you're one of those like, when is this new event or something, whatever's happening in Pokemon Pocket gonna happen, this is the website to use, so that way you know the exact time that you can expect that event. Next up is Pokemon Zone. Again, that's Pokemon-Zone. And honestly, I cannot stress enough how much this is probably my most used website and favorite website to use for all things from just showcasing some fun guides to even just discussing cards on stream. For example, they have an entire collection. If you go here and you look at all their cards, you can just click here, and this just makes it super easy to discuss cards, discuss their synergies and combos. In fact, the entire Celestial Guardian set should be quote unquote leaking, or at least we'll have the entire data by tomorrow. So if you want to catch my first and honest opinions live on stream, well then consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on that live stream, because I'm so excited to start cooking. But that's not all. Pokemon Zone is actually working on this new sync feature on their website. It's in soft launch, and essentially what it does is if you have a Nintendo account attached to your Pokemon Pocket account, it pulls the data from your Nintendo account, if I'm understanding correctly, to then just showcase your entire collection just by syncing your account. So you can see all your cards that you have here. This isn't my collection. I'm showcasing via someone else's collection right now. Sets here. It shows you what sets you have, what cards you're missing. Your decks are here. And this is a cool feature too, because you can just click on a deck and export it to Limitless, which we'll talk about in a sec. Honestly, this is pretty neat. What to open, it tells you what cards you're missing, and so many other things. But I think the coolest part is for those of us that are interested in training, because you could also share these links and share it with your friends. For example, you can just say, all the cards that I have one of, and I'm looking for more copies to complete the set. Or you can see what cards you have multiple copies of, so that way you can trade with your friends. But what if you don't care about syncing your collection or anything like that? What if you're more of a competitive player, maybe even a beginner or intermediate? Well, this website has so many good and thoughtful guides. You have beginner guides and so much more, decks and tier lists. Honestly, this is such a good website, and I use this. Like I said, I'm not sharing anything in today's video that I don't use on the regular. However, this is the website that I probably use the most, which brings me to my possibly second most used website. And this is the website that you go to participate in tournaments in. Now, I know with ranked, a lot less people are inclined to play tournaments. However, I still find the tournament scene especially fun, especially at the start of a new set release when everyone's still trying to figure out what the heck is even meta. So definitely recommend going to Limitless TCG to sign up to your first tournament. Now, if you're on this web page, this is a starter web page, it might be a little difficult to navigate, and my camera right now is covering where you should go. But if you see right here, you have tournaments and everything. Where I'm covering, there is a play button. You click on the play, you click on trading card TCG Pocket right here, and it literally just pulls up all of it. You see this register button. Oh my God, it's that easy. It's that easy. We'll see right here, this tournament, 26 out of 128 players. We'll click right there. You read the rules, you like it, then you just register. As easy as that, guys. There's nothing else to it. Speaking of tournaments, this next site is PokemonMeta.com, and this one's going to be for all the competitive players that are looking for analytics and to understand what deck is doing what decks are winning, what are the decks made up of, and what decks are like being counters to these decks as well as their power levels. There's a lot of deck talk there, but Pokemon Meta is probably the best site to break it all down, because all you have to do is go to their tier list. And honestly, I can vouch this is pretty solid. You got tier 1, or right now I'm sharing this before set A3, of course, and look at the power levels they'll show you, and you could really see what a lot of people are playing based off of this, right? So you have the Giratina EX, Darkrai EX, 127 is their power level, and then right next to it is Gyarados EX, which is very strong, and it's not even at 50. Now you're probably wondering, where does it pull this data from? Where it pulls it all from Limitless, all the tournaments, right? So they're automatically updated. So this is a very authentic and pretty spot on website in terms of analytics. You can click on any of these deck lists. It'll show you what those decks are usually comprised of. There's a lot more data points here. You can see the previous tournaments, top 8, top 4 deck lists, top 32, first place, all of this stuff. If you click on one of them, it'll show you the exact deck list. So I think this is pretty cool for that, but also top decks, the section up here has a pretty neat search function where you can look at things from tournaments, first place winners, Master Ball winners, and 5+ streaks. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but you can also check the parameters of 7 days, 2 weeks, all time, today, right? So it's really cool. I think if again, a competitive player or even a content creator that wants to talk about more of the analytics to Pokemon Pocket, this is your bread and butter, this website. There's no gatekeeping here. I'm sharing everything, guys, which means the final website that I can guarantee a lot of people don't know about. But alas, I'm here to share everything with you guys, and that has got to be gamewith.jp/ don't forget the slash, Pokemon-TCG-Pocket. And I love this website because it shows me what the meta looks like in Japan, right? So at least that's how I interpret it, because if you go down here and you can look at the strongest decks or stuff like that, or even what I like to see is the list of deck posts. You click on this. This option is really cool because it shows you a bunch of user submitted deck lists. They may not be meta, but heck, if they're not creative, I don't know what is. I personally love looking at this section and seeing, oh wow, I never thought of Arceus with Beedrill. They also throw Lickitung in here, but that's something I wouldn't probably do. But the other option seems pretty cool. So now I'll take those 2 core Pokemon and try to build my own deck around it. So I really like that option. They have the Crimson Storm Charizard here. Again, this is just fun, creative decks if you're trying to look for that, right? However, if you click on the strongest deck section, well, then that's going to show you the top meta decks and what they're ranking. Again, they have a really good tier list here, SS tier. And if you click here, it really breaks down the decks tremendously. So if it shows you what the cards they're using, I think this is pretty awesome. Ease of collection, speed, the firepower. There's so much impressive information on this website. Again, everything's going to be linked down below. And it also helps you understand the point of each of these decks, which is what I do on my channel myself, right? So like the Darkrai Giratina deck, which hopefully we'll never see again, right, guys? Fingers crossed. You focus on preparation in the early stages, and then it tells you some more information here, and it gives you more tips. The more time you spend, the better you'll get. Giratina EX may have difficulty moving, so it gives you some pointers of how to, watch out. Also, how to play right here. First, develop. When you're ready, attack with your I mean, this is pretty standard, right? But a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know. So I think this website is super helpful to help you understand how to play certain very meta decks, and then also see what our friends in Japan are playing in terms of meta or just spicy decks. So yeah, there you guys have it. Thought I'd just share the top 5 websites I use pretty much all the time. Hope it helps. Later.